13 things you should quietly eliminate from your life in silence. Stoicism. Prepare to redefine your life. In today's episode on Stoic in Your Life, we're diving deep into 11 things you should quietly eliminate from your life in silence, inspired by the wisdom of Stoicism. Join us as we explore essential habits and mindsets that could be holding you back. We invite you to engage with us, reflect, and comment on each point we discuss. Make sure to watch till the end for a transformative experience. These next few minutes could be the key to unlocking a more profound understanding of yourself and paving the way for significant personal growth. Ready to embark on this enlightening journey? Let's get started. Number 1. Conscious use of social media. Imagine your life as a vibrant book filled with rich narratives, lessons learned, and exciting adventures. Now, picture social media as a vast library, bustling with countless other stories being shared at every moment. It's an enticing scene, isn't it? However, this digital library holds a subtle yet significant peril: constant comparison. As we peruse through the polished highlights of others' lives, we often find ourselves juxtaposing our personal struggles against their peak moments. This unfair and unrealistic comparison can spiral us into feelings of dissatisfaction and envy, illustrating the potential harm of unchecked social media use. To mitigate this, consider treating your visits to social media as purpose-driven excursions. Enter this digital library with clear intentions, be it seeking connection, inspiration, or information, and ensure you exit promptly, refocusing on the narrative of your own life. Establish specific times for engaging with social media, such as during breakfast, a work break, or before bedtime. This structured approach helps prevent these platforms from consuming excessive amounts of your time and mental energy. Moreover, always question the motive behind each interaction online. Are you seeking something constructive or merely trying to pass the time? Such introspection distinguishes productive engagement from passive, aimless scrolling. It's also vital to recognize when social media starts negatively affecting your mood or self-esteem. Should you find yourself disheartened after using these platforms, it might be prudent to step away and engage in activities that rejuvenate your spirit, like delving into a good book, pursuing a hobby, or simply savoring the tranquility of nature. By adopting these mindful practices, you not only safeguard your mental health, but also begin to appreciate the beauty of your personal journey, devoid of needless comparisons. Every individual's life is a unique tapestry woven with threads of triumphs and trials, each adding invaluable depth to their story. Reflect on how you can start crafting the next chapter of your life today, with minimal digital interference and a heightened focus on what truly enriches your existence. Embrace the Stoic philosophy in the modern era as your beacon of resilience, well-being, and prosperity. The ancient wisdom of Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, who once stated, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking," can profoundly influence our approach to contemporary challenges. Transform obstacles into victories, stress into strength, and uncertainty into clarity by harnessing the timeless insights of Stoicism to navigate the complexities of the 21st century. Together, let's embark on this enlightening journey of self-discovery and growth, taking control of our narratives and crafting lives filled with purpose and peace. Number 2. When dealing with people who hurt you. In navigating the turbulent waters of personal relationships, particularly with those who have wronged us, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a compelling approach. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This timeless counsel underpins our strategy when dealing with individuals who have inflicted pain upon us. There is often little to be gained from engaging with those who disrespect or hurt us. Rather than seeking explanations or wrestling with grievances, it is more prudent to maintain our composure and move on. This is not merely about avoiding conflict, but about honoring our self-respect and personal boundaries. When someone fails to treat us with the dignity we deserve, choosing to sever ties without fanfare or justification is both a powerful and silent affirmation of our worth. Consider the scenario where a once trusted friend betrays you. While the instinct might be to seek closure or understanding, sometimes the healthiest option is to simply say no when they seek reconciliation or support. Offering an explanation, particularly to someone who has demonstrated a lack of character, is not an obligation. It is a choice. By opting out of such cycles of conflict, we place ourselves on a path that prioritizes our well-being and personal growth. In making these tough choices, we embody the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control, our actions and reactions. As we quietly remove toxic influences from our lives, we make room for relationships that are nurturing and aligned with our values. This not only fosters a healthier emotional landscape, but also propels us towards a life that is more authentic and fulfilling. Our modern lives are cluttered with obligations and relationships that often demand more from us than they give back. By applying the principle of silently eliminating harmful influences, we respect our limitations and focus on growth. This practice isn't just about cutting ties, it's about setting the stage for future interactions that are enriching and supportive. As we navigate this journey, let us remember another Stoic insight from Seneca. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Thus, in the grand narrative of our lives, let us strive to fill our chapters with meaningful relationships and experiences, fostering a story that is truly worth telling. Number 3. Avoid raising your voice in front of others. In the quest to cultivate a Stoic demeanor, one often overlooked yet crucial aspect is managing one's vocal expressions in the face of adversity. It's essential not just to refrain from raising your voice among peers, but to channel any surges of frustration or anger into constructive endeavors. Consider the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, who advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This guidance becomes particularly pertinent when emotions threaten to overpower reason. Transforming emotional energy into a catalyst for personal growth is both an art and a science. When tensions rise, rather than allowing anger to dictate your actions, engage in activities that not only advance your objectives but also fortify your physical and emotional resilience. Reflect deeply on your emotions. Use this introspection to fuel endeavors that build rather than break, be it through professional achievements, physical fitness, or creative outlets. Moreover, in times of stress, maintaining discretion is paramount. Exposing one's vulnerabilities inadvertently during heated moments can undermine one's stature and effectiveness. Instead, cultivate a practice of resolving issues quietly and with dignity. Embrace problem solving, fulfill your responsibilities, and ally with rational thought to navigate challenges. This subtle approach prevents the spread of personal turmoil and enhances your reputation for composure and reliability. To enrich your life further, foster an attitude of gratitude. Recognize and appreciate the people and circumstances that constitute your present reality. This shift towards gratefulness can significantly alleviate emotional burdens and contribute to a more balanced and fulfilling existence. Remember the poignant reminder from Epictetus. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. As we strive for inner peace and a Stoic balance in our modern lives, it becomes increasingly important to find quiet, dignified ways to release emotional pressure. This journey towards Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's trials, but transforming them into opportunities for growth and enlightenment. If this message resonates with you, I encourage you to engage further. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, or simply reflect silently on how these principles can be integrated into your daily life. Let's continue this journey together, embracing the challenges and transforming them into stepping stones for personal and collective triumph. Number 4. Avoid constantly comparing yourself to others. Let's delve into a critical aspect that can transform your perspective and enhance your contentment in life, eliminating the habit of constant comparison to others. Have you ever caught yourself looking at someone else's life and feeling like you somehow don't measure up? It's a common scenario, but as we explore this, remember the wise words of Marcus Aurelius. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Each individual treads a unique path, laden with distinct achievements and successes that deserve to be appreciated on their own merits. The detrimental habit of measuring our lives against those of others not only impacts our emotional well-being negatively, but also stymies our personal growth. It can dramatically lower our self-esteem, as we often find ourselves trapped in the snare of unfavorable comparisons. When we fixate on perceived deficiencies rather than celebrating our own strengths and accomplishments, we undervalue ourselves. What does it feel like to live in the shadow of others' expectations or standards? More often than not, it leads us to lose sight of our own goals and aspirations. This distraction diverts our focus from what truly matters, our personal growth and fulfillment. It's easy to fall into the pitfall of yearning for what others have or what we think we should achieve based on societal standards. But is this truly beneficial, or does it merely hold us back from progressing on our unique journeys? Let's consider a different approach. By consciously choosing to eliminate comparison from our daily routine, we can cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for our circumstances and genuinely celebrate our progress and growth. Every person has their distinct pathway and individual circumstances that make comparisons not only unfair, but also unhealthy. We each possess unique strengths, face different challenges, and walk different paths in life. Instead of looking sideways, what if we focused upward on our own learning and personal development? This shift in focus empowers us to embrace our journey without the weight of comparison. How might your life change if you directed that energy towards understanding and developing your capabilities and celebrating your own milestones? Take a moment to reflect. How often do you compare yourself to others? What do you feel you might achieve if you redirected that focus back to yourself and your own growth? Let's journey together, focusing on what truly enriches us, forging paths inspired by our own dreams and aspirations, rather than shadows cast by others. Number 5. Avoid sharing your judgments with others about so-and-so. In our journey towards self-improvement, a critical lesson from Stoicism that stands out is the importance of managing our judgments about others. Picture yourself in a situation where, instead of contributing positively to a conversation, you succumb to the temptation to criticize someone. This not only ruins the atmosphere, but also diminishes your character in the eyes of those around you. Instead of giving in to such impulses, why not elevate the discourse? Consider a modern workplace scenario where gossip and personal judgments could easily undermine team spirit. Imagine you're part of a project team, and there's one member whose approach you find particularly frustrating. It's easy to let slip a negative comment or two to a coworker. However, what if, instead, you sought to understand that person's perspective or find common ground? This approach not only prevents conflict but also fosters a collaborative environment. What kind of impact do you think maintaining diplomacy could have in your own life? When you feel inclined to share unflattering opinions about someone, pause and reflect on the possible outcomes. Is there a more constructive path? Perhaps discussing your concerns directly with the individual involved could lead to a resolution or at least a mutual understanding. Being diplomatic doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather choosing a more thoughtful and respectful way to express them. This not only helps in maintaining peace, but also in cultivating an ability to coexist and adapt, regardless of personal differences. Always remember that your words and actions reflect your character. Opting to withhold harsh judgments and instead engage in open dialogue shows maturity and wisdom. How might you start applying this principle today to improve your interactions and relationships? By embracing Stoicism in our daily interactions, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also contribute to a more respectful and understanding world. Let's strive to be individuals who add value to conversations and relationships, transforming potentially negative situations into opportunities for growth and understanding. In doing so, we not only foster personal growth, but also build a foundation for healthier, more resilient relationships. Number 6. Relationships. In our exploration of Stoic philosophy and its practical applications in modern life, we encounter a profound yet often overlooked aspect: the art of navigating and sometimes ending relationships, whether they be friendships or romantic connections. This is not a matter of casual consideration, but a deep reflection on how we manage our emotional entanglements and the information we choose to share or not share about them. Imagine this: when a relationship in your life, unfortunately, comes to an end, how do you handle the aftermath? The Stoic approach suggests that certain details, especially the more intimate ones, should remain private. This intimacy, which you once shared with someone special, belongs solely to the history between you and that person. Why, you might ask, should such details remain undisclosed? Well, consider the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, a staunch Stoic, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By holding back from spreading personal grievances or conflicts, you protect not only your own peace of mind, but also respect the sanctity of that shared past. But what if you are grappling with unresolved feelings, a sign that perhaps not all wounds have fully healed? It's human to want to share, to seek a confidant to unload our burdens. Yet, in these moments of vulnerability, there's profound strength in introspection. Talking to oneself, as if stepping outside the tumult of your emotions, offers a clearer perspective on the situation. What would you discover about yourself and the relationship if you allowed yourself a moment of quiet reflection instead of seeking external validation? Now, if the relationship in question is causing turmoil in your life, the Stoic practice would advocate for its careful removal. But how do we undertake such a delicate task? Keeping the dissolution private, handling it with the grace and discretion it deserves, not only aids in the healing process but also upholds the dignity of all involved. As the philosopher Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In applying this wisdom, you become a testament to managing personal affairs with integrity and emotional intelligence. Consider this. How often have we shared too much only to find our stories twisted into rumors that complicate recovery and reconciliation? In your own life, can you identify moments where silence might have been the wiser, more dignified response? This isn't just about avoiding gossip. It's about fostering a culture of respect and privacy that honors the complexity of human relationships. It's about nurturing our inner resilience, learning to process and let go of relationships internally, which in turn cultivates a deeper understanding of oneself and the paths we choose to follow. Let's reflect on these thoughts together. How might changing your approach to privacy and the sharing of personal details alter your relationships and personal well-being? By embracing this quieter, more reflective path, we not only honor the teachings of Stoicism, but also foster a life of greater peace and less conflict. Thank you for being here in this video. Which of these 6 points do you find most challenging in your daily interactions, and why? Feel free to share your experience with us by leaving a comment of the number that matches with you. For example, number 1, or Einrun number taten. Kirtakandainamaker. Number 7. Unnecessary goals. As you navigate through life, you'll often encounter moments that call for reflection on the choices you make, the actions you take, and the authenticity with which you pursue your path. There comes a time when you may find that certain ambitions you've held on to no longer serve your true purpose. It's a natural part of life's journey to reevaluate and sometimes relinquish these goals to better align with your intrinsic nature. This process, though challenging, is crucial. Consider this. In your day-to-day life, how often do you find yourself pursuing objectives that don't genuinely resonate with who you are or what you want to achieve long-term? It might be chasing a high-paying job that demands too much of your personal time, or aiming for social milestones that don't bring you joy. The key is not just to recognize these misalignments, but to act on them, quietly and strategically. By quietly eliminating unnecessary goals, you embrace a form of Stoic wisdom. There's no need to announce every change or decision publicly. Broadcasting your intentions can inadvertently expose your strategies and weaken your position. Instead, move with discretion. Let go of the lesser goals silently, making room for gradual yet impactful changes in your life. As you do this, always shield your deeper plans, allowing your genuine self to steer your course. Imagine you're at a busy cafe, surrounded by the buzz of daily hustle. You overhear conversations about promotions, exotic vacations, and lavish purchases. Amid this noise, you find yourself questioning, are these the successes I seek, or am I just swept up in societal expectations? This moment of introspection is your cue to reflect on what truly matters to you. What goals have you pursued that might have led you away from your true self? How can letting go of these free you to focus on what's genuinely important? Such questions aren't meant to unsettle you, but to fortify your resolve and refocus your energies on pursuits that mirror your real aspirations and values. In essence, the lesson here is about discernment, the ability to judge well. It's about understanding that not every opportunity is worth taking, and not every goal worth achieving if they don't align with your core. As you make these subtle, yet significant changes, you're not just simplifying your life, you're enriching it, ensuring that every step you take is imbued with purpose and authenticity. So, as you move forward, remember this: the art of knowing what to let go is as important as knowing what to pursue. This balance is what defines a fulfilled and genuine existence. How will you apply this wisdom to your life today? Number 8. The pursuit of external approval. In today's hyper-connected society, it's easy to feel like you're constantly performing on a stage where everyone's a critic. As you step into the glaring spotlight, imagine being encircled by a sea of faces, each one quick to judge your every action, word, and choice. The weight of their expectations can be crushing, stifling your true self. But what if you could step off that stage into a tranquil haven where the only voice that matters is your own? This shift represents a powerful liberation, the freedom to be guided by your internal compass rather than the clamor of external validation. Recognizing and prioritizing your inner voice over the cacophony of societal approval is crucial. When we rely on others to dictate our worth, we lose touch with our core identity and desires. It's akin to wearing clothes that don't fit, only to appease those around us. Reflect on the moments when you felt most fulfilled. Weren't these times when you were true to yourself, independent of others' opinions? So how can we integrate this self-reliance into our daily lives? It begins with introspection. Before making a decision, pause and ask yourself, is this truly for me? Or am I swayed by others' expectations? Learning to trust your gut and recognizing your needs is a significant step. Another transformative practice is bolstering your self-esteem. Appreciate your attributes, celebrate your successes, and view mistakes as learning opportunities. Remember, the journey to self-acceptance is continual, and each small triumph is significant. Moreover, foster relationships that affirm and encourage your individuality. Surround yourself with those who appreciate you for who you are and encourage you to express your true self. By releasing the chains of seeking others' approval, you pave the way for a more genuine and satisfying existence. Imagine now a modern professional Anna, who once thrived on her colleagues' accolades. Yet despite her successes, she felt unfulfilled. When she chose to prioritize her values over the applause, Anna discovered a profound sense of self-worth and direction, transforming her career and personal life. She began making decisions that resonated with her beliefs, which not only increased her satisfaction, but also attracted like-minded professionals who respected her authentic approach. Why not reflect on your own life? Are there areas where you're performing for approval rather than living your truth? Remember, every step you take towards authenticity is a step away from the shadow of conformity. As you contemplate this, consider how liberating it feels to follow your path, crafting a life story rich with personal truth and bravery. As we conclude our exploration of the pitfalls of seeking external approval, let this be an invitation to examine how you can embrace a life of authenticity, true to yourself and unfettered by others' expectations. The journey towards self-reliance isn't just about finding your way, it's about rediscovering yourself at your most fundamental level. Number 9, the way we handle our relationships. Imagine you're tending to a secret garden, your very own private retreat where you cultivate emotions, dreams, and cherish special moments with someone close. This space is sacred, a sanctuary that demands respect and care. In the realm of relationships, be they friendships or romantic involvements, this garden metaphorically reflects the multifaceted experiences that shape who we are. Yet, when a relationship reaches its conclusion, marked by pain, confusion, or the need to process the change, it's vital to recognize the sensitivity of what was shared within these confines. When you choose to keep the reasons for a relationship's end to yourself, you're not just safeguarding the other person's dignity, you're protecting your heart as well. Disclosing intimate details or the dynamics of the breakup opens up possibilities for misunderstandings, judgments, and even worse, gossip. This doesn't foster healing, but rather prolongs the pain and nurtures a cycle of negativity. So how should one navigate the end of a relationship with health and wisdom? First and foremost, it's crucial to allow yourself the time and space to grieve and heal. Feeling the full spectrum of emotions is necessary, yet it should be done introspectively. If the burden feels too heavy, don't hesitate to seek the support of a mental health professional who can offer objective guidance and support. In these moments of solitude, engage in deep personal reflection. Rather than searching for external validation or comfort, turn inward. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this relationship? And how can these lessons aid in my growth? Remember, every relationship, regardless of its longevity, imparts valuable lessons. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Embracing this perspective, maintaining discretion and privacy becomes a mark of maturity and respect, not only for the other person, but for oneself. As you gracefully close this chapter of your life, do so with the dignity it warrants, poised for the new experiences that await. With this reflection, let us contemplate the nature of relationship endings and the silent strength required to move forward. How can we apply the lessons learned from past relationships to enhance our future connections? This question invites you to ponder and integrate the wisdom of Stoicism into your personal journey, ensuring that each step forward is taken with mindfulness and respect for the shared paths that have shaped us. If you've journeyed with us through these 9 quiet changes, you're truly embracing the Stoic path. Drop a comment below saying, "I choose tranquility," to signify your commitment to a life of serene simplicity. Stay with us. More wisdom awaits. Number 10. Letting go of unrealistic expectations. As we sail through the vast ocean of life, each of us captains our ship, navigating through the unpredictable waves of circumstances and the winds of our desires. Let's embark on a quiet, internal voyage to confront and relinquish unrealistic expectations, those sails too large that risk steering us into the turbulent waters of discontent. Imagine your life as a grand adventure across a vast ocean. Each expectation acts as a sail on your boat, propelling you toward your dreams and aspirations. However, when these sails swell too large, when our expectations grow unrealistic, they can veer us off course, leading to a sea of disappointment and dissatisfaction. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "Our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind." This illuminates the peril of navigating life's vast ocean with a map promising treasures that do not exist. It makes us chase illusions of perfection in ourselves, others, and the situations we encounter. It's essential to question the origin of these expectations. Are they truly ours, or have they been imposed by external forces such as society, culture, or media? The journey to letting go begins with recognizing and critically assessing these expectations. Through honest introspection, we can determine whether they uplift or burden us, whether they reflect our true selves or an idealized persona fostered by external influence. The next phase of our journey involves practicing acceptance, accepting who you are, where you are in your journey, and the circumstances beyond your control. This doesn't imply abandoning your goals, but rather embracing the voyage with all its imperfections and challenges. It's about setting realistic and achievable objectives that resonate with your genuine self, rather than chasing an idealized image of success. Celebrate each small victory along the way, recognizing that every step forward, no matter how modest, is a valuable part of your progress. As we conclude, remember that the essence of life is not solely found in the destination but in the journey itself. By shedding the weight of unrealistic expectations, you allow life to unfold more naturally, creating space for unexpected joys and surprises that could never have been planned. This adjustment to our sails not only enhances our resilience, but also enriches our experiences, providing a more serene and fulfilling passage through life. Today, as you adjust the sails of your own expectations, may you find the courage to embrace life's true course, appreciating the beauty of each twist and turn. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Let this wisdom guide you as you navigate the expansive seas, discovering not just the world, but also yourself. Number 11. Avoid participation in gossip and the spread of negativity. Picture each word you utter as a seed sown in the garden of your personal and interpersonal landscapes. When we opt for words of support, encouragement, and positivity, we cultivate kindness and understanding. In contrast, engaging in gossip or negative dialogue plants seeds of misunderstanding, distrust, and conflict, disrupting the harmony of our relationships. Consider gossip. It might feel like a benign way to bond with others, but in reality, it's a destructive habit that fosters disrespect and diminishes both ourselves and those we speak of. What's more, fixating on negativity can cloud our ability to perceive the positive elements that surround us. So, how do we pivot away from this harmful path and walk towards one of positivity? Awareness is key. Monitor your participation in conversations. Should the talk slide towards gossip or undue criticism, why not steer it towards something positive about the person or situation being discussed? This simple act can shift the dynamics of your interactions. Furthermore, embrace empathy. Before you speak or share information about someone, pose the question, would I want this said about me? This reflective query serves as a robust compass, ensuring that our dialogues remain respectful and constructive. It's also vital to foster a positive circle. Surround yourself with individuals who prioritize positivity and authenticity. Such an environment not only nurtures mutual respect, but also bolsters collective support. Remember, the initiation of change begins with your choices. Opting out of gossip and negative chatter not only safeguards your integrity, but also models exemplary behavior for others. By embracing these practices, you nurture a mindset that is positive, empathetic, and resilient. This evolution in thinking and behavior significantly enriches your personal growth and deepens the quality of your relationships. Have you ever stopped to consider the immediate impact of replacing a negative comment with a positive affirmation? Think about the last time you chose to see the good in a challenging situation or person. How did that choice affect not only your mood, but also the outcomes of the interactions? As we continue on this journey of wisdom, let's commit to being architects of positivity in our own lives and the lives of others. What steps will you take today to cultivate a more uplifting communication style? Number 12. Discarding the need for immediate gratification. Imagine living in a world that doesn't rush you to the finish line, where the journey itself is as rewarding as the destination. Isn't that a more fulfilling way to experience life? This concept is deeply rooted in Stoicism, which teaches us the value of patience and long-term thinking, qualities often overshadowed by our modern-day rush for immediate gratification. You see, when we discard the urge for instant results, we embrace a life of meaningful progress over hasty outcomes. Consider how often we seek quick fixes, like binge-watching a series to escape reality, or expecting to climb the career ladder without putting in the groundwork. These are examples of immediate gratification that only lead to temporary satisfaction. But what if you could change that? What if you could cultivate habits that not only enhance your day-to-day life, but also contribute to your long-term happiness? By shifting focus from the immediate to the enduring, you start building resilience and a genuine sense of contentment. This doesn't mean you must deny yourself pleasures. Rather, it's about appreciating them as part of a larger, more satisfying process. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." How can you apply this timeless wisdom to start valuing patience over haste today? In fostering this mindset, you are not simply waiting, you are actively engaging in a practice that enriches your life. It's about making conscious choices that align with sustained growth rather than fleeting joy. This transformation requires a deep-seated shift in how you view success and fulfillment. Are you ready to let go of the need for immediate results to discover a more profound, lasting happiness? How will you begin this journey of quiet transformation today? By contemplating these questions and making this pivotal shift, you quietly eliminate one of the most pervasive barriers to true happiness. You lay the foundation for a life that finds joy in the growth and the resilience that comes with it. This approach not only changes how you live, but also profoundly influences your overall well-being, ensuring that your satisfaction is not dependent on the next quick fix, but on a well-rooted sense of peace and fulfillment. Number 13. Eliminating excessive self-criticism. In our journey through life, we often become our own harshest critics. This relentless self-criticism, though stemming from a desire to improve, can paradoxically become a barrier to the very improvement we seek. The ancient Stoics, with their wisdom echoing through time, offer a valuable lesson here. He who is cruel to himself and others, who does not learn to forgive, will never find peace. Marcus Aurelius. This insight is particularly relevant as we consider the importance of tempering self-criticism. Self-improvement is undoubtedly a noble goal, but when it crosses into the realm of excessive self-criticism, it transforms from a constructive endeavor into a destructive cycle. Stoicism, a philosophy built on the bedrock of practicality and focus, teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. By continuously berating ourselves for past mistakes or perceived inadequacies, we engage in a futile exercise, focusing on the unchangeable past rather than the actionable present. This misalignment not only saps our energy, but also deviates us from the Stoic ideal of pursuing virtue and excellence. To break free from this detrimental habit, start by acknowledging the presence of your inner critic. Recognize that this voice, however critical, is an integral part of your psyche that can be reshaped. Challenge the validity of its harsh judgments and consider a more compassionate approach. Instead of letting self-doubt paralyze you, foster self-compassion. Replace the critic's harsh narrative with affirmations that encourage growth and acceptance. For instance, when you stumble, remind yourself, "I am learning and growing, and that is enough." This pivot is not just about improving mental well-being. It is about realigning with the Stoic philosophy that advocates for rationality and emotional resilience. As you shift from self-criticism to self-coaching, you cultivate a mindset that not only enhances personal virtue, but also equips you to contribute positively to those around you. In modern life, where the pressures of performance and perfection often overshadow our need for personal kindness, this Stoic practice is immensely relevant. It's a reminder that while the pursuit of excellence is commendable, it should not come at the cost of our peace. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us remember that the most profound changes often come not from loud proclamations, but from quiet resolve. Let this be your guiding principle, to quietly eliminate excessive self-criticism, thus paving the way for a more fulfilled and stoically aligned life. In wrapping up our video on 13 things you should quietly eliminate from your life in silence, I urge each of you to reflect on how these principles can reshape your daily routine and overall happiness. The journey towards personal growth through Stoicism isn't always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. By practicing conscious use of social media, avoiding unnecessary comparisons, and letting go of the need for immediate gratification, among other things, you're setting the stage for a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's support each other and grow together. Remember, every small step in this journey counts towards a greater sense of contentment and self-awareness. So, what will you quietly eliminate from your life to foster personal growth and happiness? 9 unspoken benefits of silence. To continue our journey, we will now discuss 9 unspoken benefits of silence. In a world that rewards the loud and the immediate, embracing silence can seem counterintuitive. Yet the most composed minds often reap immense benefits, hidden from the hustle and bustle of everyday noise. Whether it's avoiding the pitfalls of premature announcements or the power of introspection leading to richer, more impactful actions, silence holds the key. Remember, while the spotlight often favors those who speak the most, it's the thinkers, the quiet strategists, who shape their destiny without a whisper. They understand that real success isn't about the applause during your journey, but the wisdom gained and the results seen. Today we dive deep into these silent strategies that promise to not only transform your approach to life's challenges, but also redefine your interaction with the world around you. 1. Learning to be calm. In the quietude of silence lies an unspoken power, a virtue often overlooked yet profoundly impactful, especially in the frenetic pace of modern life. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This sage advice serves as a cornerstone in understanding the 4 unspoken benefits of silence, particularly for men navigating the complexities of life between the ages of 30 and 65. Firstly, embrace silence cultivates a calmness that is both rare and enviable. In moments where words fall on deaf ears or fail to leave an impression, the wise choice is often to refrain from speaking. This is not about surrendering your voice, but about choosing battles wisely. Silence can be a strategic retreat, allowing you to listen, observe, and depart from situations where your presence adds no value. This teaches us humility and restraint, sparing us the embarrassment of being ignored or, worse, pitied. After all, as it's often said in moments of distress, it's okay. This too shall pass. But more than a mere consolation, this phrase reminds us of the impermanence of our troubles and the virtue of patience. Secondly, silence helps in building dignity and self-esteem. In social settings, the temptation to boast can be strong, especially when surrounded by superficial smiles or insincere gestures. Yet, when one learns to hold their tongue, especially in boastful conversation, they maintain their dignity. The relatively wealthy who dismisses the humble gifts brought during New Year lantern symbolizes society's wider disregard for ostentation. Those who speak modestly, or not at all, often command more respect than those who speak without substance. As William Shakespeare wisely penned, "Give thy thoughts no tongue." Moreover, silence fosters a keen sense of observation. By holding back our words, we position ourselves as observers rather than participants. This stance is not about disengagement, but about engaging more deeply on a non-verbal level. Observing allows us to see the truth behind facades and to understand situations more fully before we act. It's about cultivating a strategic silence, where the quietness is not empty but rich with active, discerning thought. Finally, practicing silence can lead to a deeper understanding and connection with others. By speaking less, we can hear more. Not just the words, but the emotions, thoughts, and truths that people communicate non-verbally. This can lead to stronger, more authentic relationships, because it is rooted in understanding and genuine interaction. As we navigate through life, understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all allows for deeper connections and respect to flourish. In integrating these principles into everyday life, remember that silence is not about non-participation in the world, but about a more mindful, deliberate form of engagement. It is a powerful tool that, when wielded wisely, can enhance your personal and professional relationships, increase your perception and respect, and provide a tranquil harbor in the chaotic seas of modern existence. Therefore, embrace the Stoic wisdom of silence, and let your quiet presence resonate louder than words could ever do. 2. Learning to accumulate energy on your own. In the quiet solitude of our own minds, there's a unique power. Have you ever considered the profound impact of gathering your energies in silence, especially when the world seems to overlook your contributions? Let's dive into a compelling example from the life of Danny, a friend from my high school years, whose story perfectly embodies this concept. Danny faced considerable challenges after high school. Moving to the city as a teenager, he worked relentlessly. Over the years, Danny didn't just labor physically. He invested in himself quietly, saving money, and eventually trained as an electrician. His resilience and dedication to self-improvement paid off when he founded his own company, specializing in electrical and plumbing installations. Imagine Danny during those formative years, channeling his energies into reading and learning whenever he felt overlooked or undervalued. Instead of seeking validation or assistance from others, Danny chose to empower himself through education and skill acquisition. This narrative isn't just about financial success, it's about the transformative power of self-sufficiency and learning. Now think about your own life. When was the last time you turned inward to learn something new or improve a skill when faced with rejection or indifference? Like Danny, each of us has the ability to change our path, not by loud declarations, but through quiet determination and continuous self-education. So what can we take away from Danny's journey? It's clear. When you feel your words fall on deaf ears, that's your cue to retreat inward and build your reserves of knowledge and strength. Don't wait for others to acknowledge your worth. Grab a book, observe the world, and absorb all the wisdom you can find. Dare to walk your unique path confidently, for it's in these moments of apparent solitude that our true strength is forged and our fate reshaped. In this story of perseverance and silent strength, what part resonates most with you? How might you apply Danny's lesson of quiet energy accumulation to overcome your own challenges? 3. Learn to avoid unnecessary conflicts. In the nuanced tapestry of human interactions, the art of silence holds a transformative power, one that can steer us away from the tempests of unnecessary conflicts. Picture this. In a world where bullying is widespread, the knee-jerk reaction might be to retaliate, yet many choose a path of silent resilience. This choice is not a display of weakness, but a strategic embrace of strength. Consider the age-old wisdom that advises against adding fuel to the fire of disputes. As Shakespeare eloquently put it, discretion is the better part of valor. Now let me ask you, have you ever felt pressured to respond in haste during a heated moment, only to regret your words later? Silence in these instances can serve as a shield, protecting you from the repercussions of rash decisions. It is not about suppressing your voice, but about harnessing your response to serve you better. Silence allows you to collect your thoughts, to soak in the situation like a sponge absorbs water, and from this absorption, you can emerge not only unscathed, but enriched. In embracing silence, you adopt a posture of reflection rather than reaction. You become like the sponge that is soft yet resilient, yielding yet capable of regaining its original form once the pressure subsides. In this way, silence can be your ally, enabling you to navigate through life's challenges with grace and wisdom. It allows you to weigh your words, to choose paths of peace over confrontation. So, how can you apply this in your daily interactions? How might shifting your perspective on silence change the way you handle your next challenge? Remember, the goal is not to avoid all confrontation, but to approach each situation with a mindset that prioritizes harmony and personal growth. By choosing when to speak and when to listen, you wield the power to not only influence your own life, but also to positively impact those around you. 4. Learning to seize opportunities. Only those who keenly observe the ebb and flow of circumstances, acting with discernment and strategic restraint, exhibit true wisdom. This isn't about fostering chaos or restlessness. Rather, it involves mastering the art of calm, collecting energy in the quiet, and pouncing with precision when the opportune moment arises. It's a firm belief in the idea that fortune favors the prepared mind. Take, for example, a literary friend of mine, Kevin. Since the early 1990s, Kevin has dedicated himself to the craft of writing, despite never initially gaining fame or frequent publications in prominent outlets. His journey wasn't decorated with immediate accolades or public recognition. However, Kevin's unwavering dedication to daily practice and improvement recently culminated in a contract with a renowned publisher. His articles now resonate widely, touching thousands with their authenticity and insight. His story exemplifies a profound truth. Success is often a quiet accumulation, the result of steadfast perseverance. Kevin's career now spans over 2 decades, within which he has penned between 5,000 and 6,000 pieces on diverse topics such as life, work, sports, and entertainment. His vast portfolio stands as testament to his deep understanding and unshakable commitment to his art. In any genre, Kevin's words flow with the confidence of someone who has mastered the quiet art of opportunity. This narrative underlines a vital principle. Success isn't a product of random chance, nor is it wise to passively wait for it. Instead, success is actively seized through the strength of spirit fostered during moments of silence and preparation. This is why the unknown often leapfrog to success seemingly overnight. Unseen, they've spent countless hours refining their skills, accumulating knowledge quietly, and preparing for the moment when the world finally takes notice. In applying this lesson to modern life, remember that every day offers a new opportunity to build quietly towards your future. In the silence of preparation, you gather the strength needed to seize forthcoming opportunities. Reflect on your daily routine. Are you allowing quiet accumulation of experience and knowledge, or are you rushing without laying a solid foundation? Embrace the Stoic wisdom of enduring quietly, preparing thoroughly, and acting decisively. This approach will not only bring success, but will ensure it is meaningful and sustained when it arrives. After all, as the proverb goes, great oaks from little acorns grow. Embrace the silence, and let your actions speak louder than words when the time is right. 5. Enhancing observational skills. Embracing silence is far more than just a pause from speaking. It transforms into a powerful tool that enhances our observational skills. When you allow yourself to step back into quietude, you start to notice the world in a more vibrant and detailed manner. This heightened perception becomes a valuable asset, not only in personal spheres, but also in professional environments. Consider a moment in a bustling business meeting where silence allows you to perceive underlying tensions or subtle agreements that spoken words might overshadow. This acute awareness can then guide you in devising more effective communication strategies and improve your decision-making processes. In your personal reflections, too, silence plays a crucial role. It helps you to become more aware of your own thoughts and behaviors, spotting patterns that might have eluded you amidst the noise. This leads to a richer self-understanding and encourages personal growth as you start aligning your actions with your deepest goals and values more consciously. And in social settings, imagine how maintaining silence allows you to pick up on nonverbal cues and body language. Such insights can deepen your relationships, enabling you to interact with others more empathetic and respond to their needs and desires with greater sensitivity. Now, let's consider a typical day where you might spend your morning in a crowded coffee shop, bombarded by the chatter of patrons and the clattering of cups. If you chose to immerse yourself in silence, even amid such chaos, you might notice the subtle interplay of expressions on the barista's face, revealing exhaustion or the silent exchanges between regulars, hinting at a shared joke or a whisper of solidarity in their hurried mornings. Observing these moments can enrich your understanding of human interactions and elevate your day-to-day experiences. So why not challenge yourself to practice silence? Start small, perhaps during your next conversation. Listen more than you speak. What might you learn about your friends, your family, or even a stranger? How might this practice reshape the way you perceive and interact with the world around you? As we cultivate silence, we do not merely refrain from speaking. We become keen observers, strategists in our personal and professional lives, and more profoundly connected to those around us. This practice doesn't strip away our voice, but rather enriches the quality of what we say when we choose to speak. The journey of silence is indeed about uncovering the unspoken. It's about learning to listen deeply, to understand better, and ultimately to connect more meaningfully. 6. Fostering creativity. Have you ever considered the profound impact that silence can have on your creativity? Imagine for a moment a world stripped of constant noise, where the mind can roam freely and explore the depths of its own ingenuity. Silence, my friends, is not merely the absence of sound. It's a vast expanse where creativity burgeons. As Thomas Edison once remarked, "The best thinking has been done in solitude. It is the stillness that produces the wonders of the world." In the tranquility of silence, your mind is unshackled from the usual disruptions and societal pressures that often dictate conventional thinking. This mental space allows for the connection of disparate ideas, fostering innovative thoughts and creative solutions that seem elusive amidst the chaos of our daily lives. Think about it. When was the last time you allowed yourself to just sit quietly, letting your thoughts drift without agenda? Historically, many of the world's greatest thinkers and artists have found their creative epiphanies in such quiet moments. They embraced solitude as their secret arsenal, enabling them to think outside the box and come up with groundbreaking ideas. It's in silence that we can break free from the mental clutter and the relentless pace of our environment, which is bombarded with information at every turn. Moreover, this peaceful quietude is not just beneficial but essential. It offers a respite for our overstimulated brains, allowing them to reset and rejuvenate. This is vital for sustaining creativity and productivity over the long haul. How then can we incorporate these periods of silence into our lives? Consider establishing a routine, whether it's through meditation, taking quiet walks in nature, or setting aside dedicated times for reflection. These practices can profoundly enhance your ability to generate creative ideas. By consciously integrating silence into our daily routines, we not only replenish our mental energy but also set the stage for moments of insight and innovation that can profoundly transform both our personal and professional lives. So I pose to you this open-ended question. What could silence help you discover about yourself and the world around you? 7. Building discipline and self-control. In an era saturated with constant noise and endless distractions, the virtue of silence emerges as an invaluable tool for personal growth and self-mastery. Silence is not merely an absence of sound, but a discipline that sharpens self-control and fosters emotional intelligence. By choosing to remain silent, especially in moments where impulsivity urges us to speak, we exercise restraint, thereby fortifying our willpower. This act of intentional silence is a potent practice for personal development, cultivating qualities such as patience, temperance, and emotional regulation. In the heat of a conversation or a stressful situation, the impulse to react immediately can often lead us to make hasty decisions or utter regrettable statements. Silence, in these instances, serves as a protective buffer. It allows us time to sift through our thoughts and emotions, enabling us to respond in a more measured and effective manner. This pause can be particularly advantageous in high-stress environments where thoughtful responses yield far more productive outcomes than reactive ones. Extending beyond external silence, mastering the art of quieting one's internal dialogue is equally crucial. Reducing mental chatter diminishes stress and anxiety, paving the way for a state of mental clarity. This clarity is indispensable for making prudent decisions that are not overshadowed by emotional disturbances. The regular practice of embracing silence also nurtures a profound sense of inner peace and stability, qualities that are priceless when navigating the tumultuous waves of life. By harnessing self-control through the discipline of silence, individuals are better equipped to maintain their composure amidst life's challenges. This mastery allows one to approach both personal and professional interactions with a balanced and measured perspective, ultimately leading to more fulfilling engagements. Integrating more silence into our daily routines not only enhances our ability to control our reactions, but also enriches our overall life experience. Let us therefore strive to cultivate silence, not just as a practice but as a pathway to a more controlled and meaningful existence. This approach to life, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, invites us to reflect inwardly and fortify our inner reserves, preparing us to face the world with resilience and poise. 8. Deepening interpersonal relationships. In our fast-paced world where every moment is filled with noise and chatter, the quiet power of silence remains largely untapped, especially in its capacity to deepen and enrich interpersonal relationships. Think about it. When you choose to listen rather than speak, you are not just passing time, you are opening a gateway to mutual respect and understanding. This intentional silence allows you to absorb and reflect on the emotions and words of others, fostering a more empathetic connection. Have you ever noticed how a simple act of attentive listening can make someone feel truly heard and valued? This in turn can strengthen the bonds between you. Moreover, silence in conversations doesn't just fill empty space. It cultivates trust. Showing restraint and honoring the perspectives of others, particularly when they diverge from your own, can be crucial during sensitive discussions. It's in these moments that silence can prevent the escalation of emotions and avoid potential misunderstandings or conflicts. By choosing to remain silent at the right times, you show that you take another's viewpoint seriously, which can be both reassuring and affirming. Consider a modern-day scenario in the workplace, where team meetings are often rapid and rife with overlapping dialogues. Imagine a team leader who adopts a strategy of silence, giving room for team members to express their thoughts without interruption. This not only improves the quality of discussions but also enhances team cohesion. Team members feel respected and valued, leading to a more collaborative and innovative environment. This story isn't just hypothetical. It's a practical demonstration of how silence can transform interpersonal dynamics. But silence between individuals can also be a powerful nonverbal expression of comfort and companionship. In any relationship, not every moment needs to be filled with words. Sometimes sharing a comfortable silence can say more than a torrent of sentences ever could. It shows a deep level of understanding and comfort, where two people can simply be together without the need to constantly verbalize thoughts. This form of nonverbal communication can significantly reinforce connections, making them more resilient to the daily stresses and strains of life. So, why not challenge yourself to incorporate more silence into your interactions? Reflect on the last conversation you had. Could moments of silence have provided more clarity or connection? Moving forward, how might you use silence to enhance your relationships both at home and in your broader social circles? In closing, remember that silence is not merely the absence of sound. It's a profound strategy for deepening trust, empathy, and understanding in all your relationships. By embracing silence, you allow for richer, more meaningful interactions. So let's ask ourselves, how can we transform our relationships by saying less and listening more? The answer might just change your life. 9. Encouraging introspection. Have you ever experienced the profound tranquility of silence? It's not merely the absence of noise, but a gateway to deep introspection, an essential tool for personal growth and self-awareness. As you sit quietly, have you noticed how your thoughts start to slow down, giving you the space to reflect on your actions, beliefs, and emotions? This process of self-reflection is crucial for understanding who you truly are at your core, what drives you and what values you hold dear. It's in these silent moments that you can truly meet yourself. Imagine harnessing that strength to explore the depths of your own mind. In silence, you can reflect on your strengths and acknowledge your weaknesses, a step that is vital for anyone committed to personal development. How well do you know your own strengths? Could identifying them more clearly guide you toward better decisions? Moreover, engaging in this quiet introspection helps you develop greater emotional intelligence. Learning to manage your emotions effectively is particularly beneficial when facing life's inevitable challenges. It's like navigating a ship on turbulent seas. The better you understand the winds and currents of your emotions, the smoother your journey will be. Furthermore, introspective silence fosters a greater sense of purpose and direction. By reflecting on your past experiences and future aspirations, how often do you find clarity in your life's goals? Taking this time for contemplation allows you to align your daily actions with your long-term visions, leading to a life filled with satisfaction and fulfillment. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you allowed yourself the gift of silence to delve into the depths of your soul? What might you discover if you did? Embracing silence is not just about finding quiet in the external world, but about discovering the voices within that have been drowned out by life's cacophony. Each silent moment is an invitation to deepen your understanding of yourself and carve out a path that resonates with your most authentic self. So, I encourage you to find those moments of quiet and let them guide you to the insights and transformation that await in the calm. If you found value in this exploration, don't forget to subscribe to our channel Stoic in Your Life. Ring the bell for notifications, and like and comment below. Your engagement helps us grow and continue providing valuable content.